Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. The Invisible Man was directed by Leigh Whannell and is a remake of the classic 120-year-old story by H.P. Lovecraft, but this time around Elizabeth Moss plays an ex-girlfriend of basically technologically savvy Christian Grey as she escapes her abusive relationship, but somehow after he kills himself he comes back, but invisible. And if you guys are new here and you enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you live talking by movies. And also, if you guys have seen this movie, I want to hear your thoughts about it down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did this make you really want to turn invisible? But personally, for me, this is probably the best new horror film I have seen in a very long time. The movie uses actual suspense and tension building to ramp up the scares, and there even are a few genuine scares in this movie. This is a movie where the sound design is extremely imperative because after a while you get into the head of Elizabeth Moss's character and just every little creak in the floor just kind of, makes you just look around every corner thinking the Invisible Man's gonna pop up at any second, or how intense the rain just starts to fall outside. The sound design is absolutely fantastic in that way, but also some of the moments where there's not really any sound at all actually lead to some of the scariest moments, and it's all in the visuals, because the cinematography is so well crafted that you're just staring at every last blank corner thinking something's gonna happen in that corner. I'm a little on edge right now. The movie does utilize jump scares, but not like every 12 seconds like most modern horror movies do. In fact, most of them here are what I would call real-life jump scares, like tripping over a dog bowl in Dead Silence, and there's one jump scare inside of an attic that got everybody in the theater, myself included. And Elizabeth Moss is absolutely fantastic in this movie. She's in, like, every single scene in the movie. She plays this paranoid ex-girlfriend who thinks her ex is coming after her and he's all invisible. And of course nobody believes her, and it is just a very gripping performance because you see her just kind of delve into basically near insanity because no one's believing her that her ex is coming back as an invisible man haunting her, and it is a great performance seeing like where she begins at the beginning of the movie and ends up at the very end. It's really good, and following her as the story progresses and she starts to figure out what's really going on here is very well done because, this movie could have gone the really predictable route with some of its plot points, but then this movie just comes around and throws a lot of twists and turns that you probably will not be expecting when you watch this movie, and some of them I was like, oh shit, we're going this route, okay, that's freaking cool. And I really like the modern approach that Leigh Whannell brought to this classic Invisible Man story, so, it's not so much science and fantasy based, it's more technology and quote-unquote science fiction based, which I think works really well. And Leigh Whannell also made Upgrade from 2018, which I thought was a really good sci-fi neo-noir film, and of course he also co-created the Saw franchise, so I think he was the perfect director to bring the Invisible Man story back to life for modern audiences to enjoy. I was just completely sucked into this movie, my eyes were glued to the screen and did not want to look away for a single second, which is something I can't say about a lot of horror films I've seen lately. I would say this movie's pretty close to perfect, but there are a couple things I think you can nitpick when it comes to this movie, and I think one of those is one of the twists in the film, which, I think like the bare concept of it works, but then after a while if you start thinking about it too much, it's like, yeah, after everything that's kind of been happening, there's no way that's an actual factor anymore. So all in all, The Invisible Man is a great example of how to modernize a classic monster movie into modern day, and like I've said like 8,000 times in this review, one of the best horror films, if not the best horror film I've seen in a very long time. Now, if only the Dark Universe didn't fail miserably with its first movie, because then we could maybe be getting another really cool, well-made monster universe where these guys all come together. That'd be cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So, those are my thoughts on The Invisible Man, and again, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you live talking by movies. But anyway, if you guys have seen this movie, then tell me your thoughts about it down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.